Hello and welcome to the Idol Inn, your cozy getaway from all the crazy drama in the K-pop world. I'm your host, Annie Oakley, and here's what you might have missed last week in K-pop. Today's top story is on the thing that's literally destroying the planet as I speak, AI, and specifically AI in K-pop. Unchild, the newest group from HYBE Entertainment, and yes, people have already made it known how much they hate that name, released this teaser, which uses AI. Now, allegedly, someone reached out to the artist and their response was that it wasn't AI, but because I have functioning eyes and a fully formed frontal lobe, it's pretty easy to tell that this is in fact AI. And it's really just disappointing overall to see a group that hasn't even debuted yet getting wrapped up in this. Similarly, SM's new Japanese girl group debuted with an AI lighting music video so bad, the hype for the group is now non-existent. Unfortunately, they are far from the only offenders though. As we talked about last week, A27 Entertainment, home to CSR, has been using the money from their success to make AI slop movies, and even made their comeback song the OST for the latest one. Fans rallied against that though, and are only circulating the performance videos and not the AI version the company released. At the time of recording, the official MV has 10,000 views, whereas individual music shows have at least 16k, and their first performance video is at 141,000. YENA's recent hit Catch Catch unfortunately had AI in it as well, and when you consider that she was paying homage to second gen and specifically Tiara, it makes no sense at all. Tiara became known for having enticing cinematic music videos, and inserting unnecessary AI just spits in the face of all the work that was put in between the writers, actors, and special effects teams to bring those stories to fruition. On top of that, the music video itself is so fun and playful that it's just confusing as to why they'd slip that in instead of going for something more in line with the overall theme. Hell, they had a buff stunt double for YENA. Obviously, these people had some fun ideas for the music video. There are a number of other cases now, as it seems like companies are eager to jump on the sinking ship that is AI, but what really gets me is that the outcome of using this is just nothing good. Outside of the environmental effects, fans spot AI and don't rewatch or share the music video. It makes the company itself look bad and lazy because they should have enough money to hire real artists or just not use it to begin with. Overall, it basically guarantees less success the more it's featured, and unfortunately, these companies will only care once they realize how using AI hurts their wallets. Starting us off, this month we have From Us9 dropping a Japanese version of their last song, Like You Better. I will say I was surprised to see them doing a Japanese release after getting new management, but I'm taking this as a positive sign that they're in it for the long haul. Kino of Pentagon returned with Taxi, and I want to like this song, but boy, is it clearly not meant for me, which is okay. Card Somin is next up for a solo debut. The title track Backseat feels like a call out to someone specific, and all I want to know is who. Monsta X released a full English album titled Unfold. This album is so good. It is fully worth a listen when you have the time. T.O.P dropped his first full album, and my disappointment is immeasurable. Lyrically, he's the same man that I grew up listening to, but the instrumentals for every song needed more time in the oven. I genuinely don't want to listen to this again. Kickflip is back with Eye Poppin', and this is another song that I feel is not bad, but also I'm not in the target market for. Talented siblings Akmu made their first comeback since leaving YG. The music itself is an easy listen. We're bringing quirk back to K-pop this year, I guess. And last but not least, Cosmic Girls Dayoung is back with What's a Girl to Do. She recently mentioned that she'd do a physical release when she was more confident, which I think is a shame because she should be extremely confident given the success of Body and with how much effort she's putting into the song as well. HWASA is dropping So Cute on Thursday. Considering the runaway success of Good Goodbye, there's a lot of justified hype about this. She seems to be really digging into her creative bag these days. The Nation's virtual group, otherwise known as Plave, is having their comeback on the 13th. I wish I could say more about the teaser photos, but they really don't invoke anything for me personally. TXT is back with their 8th mini album, 7th Year, a moment of stillness in the thorns, and boy is that a mouthful and not confusing at all. XDINARY HEROES is dropping their 8th mini album, Dead and. Teaser photos are out, and the vibe is a stark contrast to their pre-release X Room. Former Luna member YVES is dropping her 4th EP, Nail, on the 17th, and my goodness girl, we get it, you clearly like women, and that's okay. NCT Wish is back with their first full album, Ode to Love. This is their first comeback without input from former director Boa after she left SM. Cordis is dropping a pre-release before their May comeback for their second single, Green Green. Joining them on the 20th is labelmate Even for their first comeback after members Yoo Sung-on and Ji Yun-so's exit. B1A4 is releasing their 9th mini album titled Set on the 21st. This is their first release under their own company, which they started last year after having been with WM since their debut in 2011. Former RISE member Sunghan's project group Sunghan and Seoul will be back with Glow on the 27th. They are also holding a fan con in South Korea afterwards. At the end of the month, Islet will return with It's Me. Independent K-pop artist The Deep took part in the production. Taeyang of Big Bang will be back at some point this month as well, with an album titled Quintessence. And joining the list of April comebacks without a set date is dancing queen Lee Chae-yeon. This will be her first release since leaving WM as well. She's now under Day One Dream, which is the parent company of BTOB's new subsidiary. Something slightly different to start us off, music show Simply K-Pop is returning after a hiatus that started back in August of last year. CSR is already confirmed to be performing. This show gave a lot of opportunities to Nugu and smaller groups, so seeing its return after the show announced its end gives me hope that these groups won't be left behind. Ghost 9's Lee Jin-woo is starring as Song Ji-chun in the drama Cabbage Your Life. He plays the son of the main character who is forced to relocate to a rural area and adjust to a totally different way of life. IU is starring opposite Byung-woo-seok in Perfect Crown. This is an arranged marriage rom-com and it's available on Disney+. Mad Concrete Dreams, starring former FX member Crystal, is currently airing as well. She plays a wife whose life is upended after her husband and his friend devise a kidnapping scheme that goes awry. Fear Nots can see Le Seraphim in VR for the newest of Amaze VR's concert series. Tickets went live on Monday, and there are still some available, but a lot of them have already been snatched up. MOAs can also join in on the VR hype train, as TXT is releasing another concert for the platform. You do get some fun inclusions for these events, so they're definitely worth checking out if you have the time. I attended the ATEEZ Light the Way VR movie, and I can tell you, it's worth it. A review for that will be on the channel later this month as well. I can't believe I spaced this considering I am a Shawwal, but SHINee's Lee Taemin will be performing at Coachella on the 11th and the 18th. He's been making the rounds here on talk shows and with the Grammy Museum performance, building up anticipation. So if his previous tour is anything to go by, we can expect this to be some of his best work. Big Bang is also performing at Coachella this year, and they were supposed to be playing Coachella in 2020, but obviously we all know what happened then, so this is nice that they were able to actually make good on that. While DKB and Treasure wrapped up their concerts successfully, we have several artists still touring now. Just Be started their Snow Angel tour on the 27th. General admission is super affordable, starting at just $50. Tickets for Big Ocean's The Greatest Battle Tour are also live. They're available through Opang, and you can find the link through the bio on their Instagram. That's Opang's Instagram, OPPANG. And Mix is making their way to the States, and seriously, their performance is something that has to be experienced live. Tickets are still available on Ticketmaster. And Jackson Wang has started his Magic Man 2 tour, and this man knows how to put on a show. He'll be traveling all across North America, so you head to Ticketmaster or wherever tickets are sold for you to see what show is closest to you. Classy is holding the last of their 2 concerts on the 4th and 5th in Japan. Apparently, the goal of this group, at least when they were created was to chart high on the Billboard charts, which I think is ironic considering their entire concept and presentation, but what do I know? Omega X will also be in Japan for their New Vision tour. The next dates for that are the 10th and the 12th of this month. TWICE is, again, still on tour, but members Dahyun and Chaeyoung are currently out due to injury and health issues. If you want to hear my thoughts on that show, check out my review on the channel. The link is in the description. Boyfriend member Donghyun was supposed to be releasing his first single, Happy Death Day, on the 3rd. Unfortunately, as is often the case, it seems to have been delayed with no notice given. Rolling Quartz dropped Roll the Dice, featuring lead vocalist from Dreamcatcher and Chronicle, Lee Seon. I made the mistake of watching this at night in the dark, and my god, the flashing lights were genuinely too much. I could not continue watching it. And lastly, Young Posse released We Don't Go to Bed Tonight. The song is catchy, I guess, but there was a better way to phrase the title/main chorus line there. YVES, formerly known as Three-Way, is releasing a digital single on the 8th. This is their first release, I believe, after their weird string of covers they were doing for their pre-debut era. Band HRTZ.WAV is up next with their debut. This is made up of the finalists from the competition show Steel Heart Club. The newest group to come out of former TVXQ member Jae-jung's company, Keep It Up, is debuting on the 8th as well, and I have already talked about how I don't care for this name, but somehow they were outdone against all odds. FNC's latest boy group, AMPERS&ONE, is dropping their 4th mini album, Definition, and Reseen is dropping their first digital single titled Runaway on the 8th as well. Former Pixie members Dia, Lola, and Yuchae are re-debuting as trio Awu on the 9th with Guess Who's Back. They really aren't shying away from their former group legacy and even work with the producer from their Pixie days. Check out our top news story from episode 6 if you want to know more about the group and why you should be tuning in for this debut. Love One will be back with their 3rd single, Unica, on the 9th as well. This is reportedly going to be a different concept from what they've shown before. Jae Chang is a very busy man, and he will be back after the conclusion of BDU's activities with his 3rd single, Higher. Ocean, a group that has been active since 2001, is having a comeback after a 4-year hiatus. This group has had a lot of lineup changes, and despite their tenure, there's not too much information about them available stateside. Modesty is debuting on the 13th. This group was formed from the spin-off of the competition show Boys to Planet, titled Planet C Home Race. Ocean, a group that has been active since 2001, is having a comeback after a 4-year hiatus, titled I'm On Your Side. If I will return with Hazy (Daisy) on the 15th. Their last song, Are You Okay, went triple platinum in my house, so I'm personally quite excited to see what they've got cooking. B-Boys will return with their first single, B2, on the 15th, and Lapolis member Yue is making her solo debut, I'm Not Fine, as well. If I will return with Hazy (Daisy) on the 15th. Their last song, Are You Okay, went triple platinum in my house, so I am personally quite excited for what they've got cooking. Girl group Notes, a duo made up of former Beauty Box members Gahyun and Chaeyoung, is debuting on the 18th. Team is releasing their 3rd EP, We On Fire, on the 21st, and it is looking like this will be a Japanese release. Briefly mentioned in our top story, girl group Unchild is making their debut on the 21st as well. They are in the same company as Stacy. And girl group YVES is back with something, presumably music, on the 22nd. Former 101 member Park Ji-hoon is releasing his first single album, Reflect. We've got some nice looking teasers that have dropped recently. And lastly, Close Your Eyes is set to have a comeback this month as well, though no date has been given yet. And that's it for this week in K-pop. Let me know in the comments whose comeback you're most excited about, or if you have plans to see any of the touring acts. And as always, like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Follow our socials so you can be notified when our Patreon goes live with exclusive talkbacks and subscriber voted videos. See you next week. Peace.